random trending topics. Sometimes you're not sure where they come from. Sometimes we also like to make up our own on a segment we call Trend of the World, where we'll have just kind of fun, wild, weird, wacky trending topics. We'll throw it out there, and then each of us will respond with how we would tweet to jump on in and join the fun of that trending topic. Let's get it started with number one. Richard Sherman, longtime Cerebral veteran, says he wants to go to a team that's competing for a championship. He's a free agent right now. Now, there are the normal teams you would think, but maybe there's some that he hasn't thought of. So let's help Sherm with his list. How would we tweet for the trending topic, under the radar contender? Nathaniel Eugene Burleson.
I would love Richard Sherman to go to the Jacksonville Jags. Having a vet like him in that locker room, it's like a perfectly placed OG for Urban Meyer. Listen, for Urban Meyer to go out and bring in Tim Tebow, he obviously wants to help change the culture. He wants to bring in some OGs that can listen to the locker room, understand what the locker room is going through, and then help communicate that to the players and also the coaching staff. I feel like Richard Sherman could be that. And this is an under-the-radar squad. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that these guys are Super Bowl ready right now, but from what I'm hearing, the reports out of Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence looks good. He has a rhythm with the wide receivers. We had Laviska on the show last week, and Laviska Shenault is looking like a beast. And they're saying that he is pretty much unstoppable right now during the summertime play. So I would love to see Richard Sherman come in and not play corner. I want Richard Sherman to come in and play safety. In the later years of his career, I want him to pull what Charles Woodson did when he played for the Green Bay Packers. Play a little bit of corner, a little bit of nickelback, and a little bit of safety. If he does that, you can move him all around, and you can use him as a quarterback for that defense.
Let's do all that with a team that's not in complete rebuild mode, though. How about he goes back home? And by home, I don't mean Northern California. I mean, or LA. I'm talking about Seattle. I think Seattle, we don't talk about the Seahawks as a Super Bowl contender when we're going through all these teams, but I still think they've got what matters in that a head coach, Pete Carroll, with a Super Bowl ring, Russell Wilson, obviously, as a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and then that defense with Jamal Adams and Bobby Wagner and some of these young players up front. Seahawks, for whatever reason, we've already crowned the Buccaneers, the Rams, and whoever wins the NFC East and whatever team comes out of the North, but the Seahawks aren't being mentioned. I know they came up short last year, but they were 5-0 to start the season, and then injuries started coming across, and of course, they couldn't get the job done in a game they should have won against the Rams in the playoffs. But this team's loaded. They don't have burned bridges with Richard Sherman. I think that the Seahawks, we saw Marshawn Lynch go home again. We certainly can see Richard Sherman, and I would love to see him there as opposed to a rebuilding Jacksonville team that might be great down the line, but I don't think they're competing for a Super Bowl this season.
Yeah, I took this as not as finding a new home for Richard Sherman, just as what's the hashtag under the radar contender. I'm going to say the Chargers. I know I talk about them a lot. I've done it through the years, but I think everybody's giving them a little more love after we saw one of the best rookie seasons we've ever seen out of Justin Herbert. Now you've got Austin Eckler. He's healthy. They rebuilt their offensive line. They've got tons of weapons in the passing game. To me, there's no reason that Herbert shouldn't build off that and take it to another level. So if we're talking about sneaky contenders, I know it's a tough division, always is. It's going to be tough against Mahomes every time out, but there's no reason the offense shouldn't be better, and there's no reason the defense shouldn't be better with the return of a healthy Derwin James, which, Kyle, I cannot wait to see.
Can't wait to see that either. Chargers, Seahawks, very reasonable, good answers. Nate, 0 for 1. Let's try to move on and do better in round 2. Let's go to something that is more in your wheelhouse. We're ready for the Migos portion of the program. Of course, you guys will know on Migos' latest album, Culture 3, it's a song simply titled Mahomes. They got a track called Mahomes. So there's a long list of NFL references and hip-hop, NFL name drops, all that stuff. Maybe there's some, though, that maybe we've forgotten or maybe we're sort of making them up. Here's the hashtag right now. Nate, get ready. You need a gem here. You're behind for sure in this segment. B-side hip-hop NFL songs. Please give us something, even in the realm of possibility, Nate.
Okay, so one of my favorite groups is Bone Thugs and Harmony. And one of my favorite songs is The Crossroads. So I actually heard this. This is actually true. There was once a group. It was a little bit of a knockoff of Bone Thugs, and they wanted to make a song about the losing streak of playoff losses that the Lions had from like 96 to the 2016, I believe it was. And it's The Lost Roads. by Long Shrugs and Oddity. Meet me at the Lost Roads. So it's a song about the Lions struggling, and the reason I wanted to pick the Lions is because I was there. I can't crack a joke on another organization if I wasn't there. I was there. I was there from 2010 to 2014. I remember those playoff losses and the demons that we were trying to fight year in and year out. You know, it's not like that anymore because the expectations are a little bit different. But you know what? My Lions were once the laughingstock, but no more. But that song was rejected. They didn't want The Lost Roads by Long Shrugs and Oddity.
I don't even know. 95 South is a very popular song right now by J. Cole, and I appreciate everything. It's about his trip from Fayetteville, North Carolina, up and back to New York City when he was collaborating with Jay-Z, and it's back and forth and back and forth. I don't know if you guys know that 95 South was first written by Sam Darnold about a man who was taken in New Jersey and was very popular. And then I had to go all the way back down to Charlotte and maybe recreate his career. Sam Darnold, 95 South. Here we go. It's a ballad you could imagine Sam Darnold rapping. As you picture Sam Darnold in a freestyle battle or Sam Darnold penning a rap song, clearly you're thinking about what he's going to overcome and him jockeying back and forth. So J. Cole, I appreciate it. I know it's one of the top rap songs in the country right now, but I'm going to think that he might have lifted those words from another famous lyricist, and that would be the very verbose and always chatty Sam Darnold. This is his story, not yours.
I love it. This is so well thought out by both of you. At GMFB with your thoughts, we're playing Trends of the World here. I did Packers Just Don't Understand. Little Will Smith, cheesy song from way back in the day. Am I the only one that is so sick of talking about this Aaron Rodgers thing every day? I know it's great. I know it's content. I know there's not much of that going on. I don't want to dissect what you're saying, Mr. Murphy, with all due respect. I don't want to, stalk out Aaron Rodgers and what he's doing with his fiancée, Shailene Woodley, and look for context. I don't want any of it. Packers just don't understand. They can't seem to get along, and it's only gotten worse since the weekend when nothing really happened, Kyle.
Mm-hmm. But shout out to Jazzy Jeff. I respected his work, his contributions.
Of course.
Sure. Listen, for me, hip hop. When I think hip hop, I think the state of Indiana really a hotbed of hip hop, and I also think the coolest player in the state of Indiana, Rodrigo Blankenship, baby. Are you telling me this guy isn't ready to cameo in the booth or to be on the cover of an album? In fact, I heard actually that he's calling himself Rodmigos Blankenship. And so there's going to be a collaboration between the two of them, and I'm here for it, baby. I don't know if they still have Tower Records, but if they do, I hope they do a signing. I'll be waiting in line. Guys, last of all, we have one more trending topic here. You probably saw it just over the weekend. Le'Veon Bell decided to come out and tell the world he felt it was important that the world knows that he said, quote, "I'll never play for Andy Reid again. I'd retire first." That's what Le'Veon Bell wrote on Instagram. Related note, Chris Judd says he'll never marry Jennifer Lopez again. He'd rather just stay single. Also, a strong statement from Le'Veon Bell. Despite half the coaches in the league being Andy Reid disciples and loyal to him and 95% of the league loving Andy Reid, Le'Veon wanted us all to know. But let's put that aside. Everyone has their one thing that they will never do again. For Le'Veon, he refuses to play with Andy Reid. What about our own? Our absolute no-nos. Give us what it is in life with the hashtag never again.
Okay, so for me, I was thinking back to when I was young, and I did some idiotic things. I used to climb up trees and on top of houses and just jump off. Not on a trampoline, just jump off to the grass. I think all boys did that. We're very stupid in that way. Then we had a BB gun fight at close range when I was a teenager. That was purely idiotic. But that was too young. What I can't do right now is something that I thought about, even when on vacation, hanging out with the wife. I actually try to do it, and it's an impossibility at this point. I can't pull an all-nighter. It used to be the coolest thing to me. When I was in never do again.
What?
Yeah, it's a fact. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't pull it off.
Okay. Nate's going to go to bed at 4:30 a.m. and wake up for our show at 4:45 a.m. moving forward. Good thing. All right, we love that. Good adjustment on that, Nate. All right, I'll go back to Super Bowl Sunday. Nate was in Tampa. He was on site for CBS. Kay, Kyle, myself, and Michael Robinson were in the studio. I had already submitted my pick. Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. Something I will never do again is doubt Tom Brady when he looks this good. Can we look at what Tom Brady looked like when he walked onto the field pregame? Mm-hmm. We saw this guy pregame. I was like, wait a second, can I change my pick? Can I change my pick? Look at this guy with the jacket and the pants. Of course he was winning the Super Bowl that day. Slickest guy in the room, slickest guy on the field, and I don't know what, that's how he walked the field before. What was I doing? I'm like, yeah, that guy's losing? No, that guy's not losing. I will never again pick against Tom Brady when he looks that darn good before a football game.
Oh my God.
That person right there was never losing the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. You can do all those PFF analytics you want. That guy wasn't losing that day. I should have known better. I'll never bet against him again.
Triggs, I told you I saw him a couple of weeks ago walking down the street in Tribeca, and he looks just like he's going to win another Super Bowl. If we're going by that criteria, Peter Schrager, he's running it back and getting himself his billionth ring. Okay, so last week, Nate won a couple of sports enemies. Peter Schrager posted a funny photo of the four of us where we're on the beach in Miami, Super Bowl, where Nate Burleson was not pulling all-nighters, I'll add as a note. And there was a lot of, white tight shirts and sleeves and skin showing, and DK Metcalf, who's a specimen, and there was strawberry milk. I was suffering in silence. A lot of Twitter users, as Schrags probably saw in his mentions, pointed this out. I, that entire week, wore heels, and every day it was, okay, but then we're going to go do this segment on the beach. And I was like, what? So I will never wear heels on the beach ever again. I don't care where we are. I don't care if we're in Rio. All right, we don't need that we don't need the foot spot shadow close up. I could have gone, okay.
Oh, you thought you got mentions then, Kay?
I wanted the photo that you posted. They couldn't get it. Anyway, long story. I won't wear heels on the beach again. I was suffering in silence. There goes my hearing.
That's okay. Those wounds will heal. I got a million jokes, not about UK, about everyone else at home. Very simple. I have the Gators behind me because I'm in Sydney, Australia. I was in quarantine for 2 weeks. I've been let loose. I'm out. I'm in the city now. And I'm having a few hiccups in my adjustment to Australian society. I get whistled at by a police officer today, like one of those angry whistles. They don't jaywalk here even a little bit. You know how when you're in New York and you're standing on the corner and you're waiting for the white walker guy to walk across? But if there's no cars coming, you just go. I did that, and this cop whistled at me and said, "Oi!" And they just stand there like trained dogs, even if there's no cars coming. So I won't do that again. And despite how hospitable the Australian people have been and how genuinely happy they are to have visitors back and tourism back, I insulted someone when I first got here, and I really didn't mean to. I get into my room. I've been on a 22-hour flight. I'm lost. I'm hallucinating. And I thought I was doing the practical thing. I called down to the front desk, and this guy answers phone. He goes, "Hello, guest services." And I go, hi. I'm up on 12. Is it safe to drink the tap water here? And there's this long pause, and the guy goes, "Is it safe to drink the tap water?" Like he repeated the question back to me, and I go, "Yeah." And he just goes, "Yeah, mate, drink away. It's Australia." I had clearly offended him, and it was my American elitism. Like we think we're the only people in the world who have clean water. The guy was so pissed off. I felt so embarrassed. It hasn't been exactly a smooth entry into Australia for me. So I'm not jaywalking, and I'm drinking the water directly out of the tap, Australia. I love you. It won't happen again.
Not surprised, Kyle. Not surprised.
I blew it.
Yeah, I'm just happy you're out of quarantine. Looks like you got some sun. You're not going to eat tofu bites